Well, with that being said, that's a perfect segue into our next segment. If they're not going to give us an official media poll for the Big 12, by God, we're going to make one ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
and we're going to be completely wrong.
Yes, this is a crapshoot and a half. Let's be completely honest. But you're about to witness the creation of the official biggest 12 media poll right here before your very eyes. So, Brownie, should we start at the bottom or should we start at the top?
Bottom.
Because
I feel far more confident in the bottom than I do the top.
All right. Well, what you do on your own time, that's totally okay. So who's your bottom pick?
Utah.
Now here's the thing. I am fine. This is our media poll, so we can do whatever we want. But I kind of think Utah's going to be better this year.
I think Utah's going to be slightly better, but I don't think they're getting out of the basement.
I think that Utah is one of the, and I truly believe that there's like minimum 10 teams that can make a run at Arlington. I think Utah is one of those teams. They got a much better defense. I think Devin Dampier is going to be a really solid athletic quarterback for them. They've got a lot of experience on their offensive line. There's a lot of things to like about Utah, but
that strength of schedule is going to be rough, I think. I mean, they're playing Tech, West Virginia, Arizona State, BYU, Colorado, Cincy, Baylor, K-State, Kansas. I mean, that's almost the top half of the conference outside of like Cincinnati and maybe BYU. And
Cincinnati's going to be better too.
Going to be
better too.
I think the entire season is just going to be they probably didn't want to give it to us because it's going to be a pure shit show.
Yeah. I'm curious who you think for 15, because I kind of think your 15 might be my 16. Who are you thinking for 15?
So, God, this is going to be real rough for me. I personally think that Arizona is going to be at 15.
That's exactly who I was thinking for 16. Yes, Arizona.
Yeah, they just lost a lot of their primary pieces, and they just haven't figured out the Big 12 yet. Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna be in the exact same boat that like Houston, Cincinnati, like West Virginia when West Virginia came in. Like it's gonna take them a year or two before they really find their feet and start getting progressively better. Mm-hmm. I just don't see them winning very many games, and honestly, that schedule is like yikes, because you play Kansas State, then you travel to Iowa State. You have Okie State and BYU at home. Then you play at Houston, at Colorado, versus Kansas, at Cincinnati, versus Baylor, and then you end it with Arizona State.
Yeah, General. So Utah ain't running anything around here. They found out. Yeah,
GT knows my absolute pure hatred for Utah.
Yeah,
it knows no bound.
Yeah, listen, you know what? Utah, I feel like it's Utah and Baylor for me are the two teams I'm rooting against the most week in and week out in this conference. But I will say, all the love in the world to the Utah fan podcast who came on the show. Beautiful people. I do not wish suffering upon you any more than is entirely necessary. Okay. Number 14, I'm a little bit torn here. I'm kind of inclined to say Houston. I do think Houston's going to be better this year. I think Houston could push for a bowl game this year, but I'm seeing more like 5 wins. What do you think about Houston at 14?
So this is where I start getting torn. And like I was very confident with 15-16 because I just don't think Utah is there. Like they lost Cam Risling, they lost a lot of more key components on defense, and from at least what I saw, they didn't make a huge splash in the transfer portal. Same with Arizona.
I take it back. It's not Houston for me anymore. I thought of somebody else, but keep going, Brownie. Keep going.
So like my primary ones that I'm currently looking at right now for the bottom, and I think you could put them 12, 13, 14. And I mean, you could probably intermix them a lot. And it's going to be UCF, maybe Houston at 12. But then, surprisingly, I'm going to throw this one out there for you.
Is this what you're thinking?
Hot take. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I was like, no, it's not going to be Houston. Yeah.
Okie State. They lost a lot of key players. They didn't have a splash. freaking Gundy's like whole standoff with the AD didn't work out, I genuinely think that Gundy is gonna choo-choo train this son of a gun into the ground, and Okie State's gonna have to look for like a new head coach, whether it be like the SDSU coach, like the South Dakota State, not San Diego State, or like somebody else like in the FCS to really like come up, like how Kleiman came to Kansas State, or Matt Campbell came from Toledo, like the Maction over to the Big 12. Like, I think you're going to have to find one of those younger-ish coaches, Kenny Dillingham. Like, you got to find somebody.
Yeah.
And
inject
start
some
it
new
now.
life. Yeah.
Yeah, because Okie State is hot buns.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, now there's a lot of, if for those of you who watch the Oklahoma State show, there is a lot of optimism in Stillwater right now, but I think some of that is just like, shoot, you can't go anywhere, you can't get any worse than you were last year. And technically this would be an improvement. But yeah, the reality is this is a very tough conference. Houston's going to be better. They're not going to be top half of the conference better, but they're going to be better. Connor Wegman, I think, is going to be a major improvement at quarterback. And UCF, I mean, they're going to have some growing pains, but they're not. The cupboard isn't completely bare with UCF. If you watched the show last week, so yeah. And here's my 11 team, and I think you'll agree with me here. And frankly, I think this team could drop as low as 14-15, but I'm putting in Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah, for 11. A lot of roster turnover. And if you've been paying attention,
no more
Dishfish has been blowing me up with texts about this. There's a lot of Deion Sanders drama. Yes, he doesn't have his kids anymore, and I think that he's a little bit checked out from the job now that he didn't have his kids anymore.
I think the Shedeur Sanders draft drop is what hurt his ego the most.
Yeah.
I really think that that's what realistically happened here. I think that they're a good 11. I don't think that they're going to quite drop down to 12, 13, 14 because they still do have some of the pieces. And realistically, we just need to see what Colorado looks like post the Sanders boys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we really need to see if this was Travis Hunter plus, like, Sanders running it through his kids that made Colorado successful. And I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say that they were overly successful. Like, yeah, they had that final push to like potentially get into the Big 12 championship game. But realistically, I think that they benefited just like Iowa State from a weaker schedule.
Yeah.
Like they weren't dominating. Shedeur Sanders wasn't a top 5. Travis Hunter wasn't top 5 defense or offense, but somehow still won the Heisman. Like, for me, Colorado, I think 11 is the ceiling and the floor is 16th.
Yeah.
I realistically think that they could go and drop below Arizona, Okie State, and Utah.
Yeah. And Utah, I think Utah has a ceiling of like 2. But they do have, I think the 16 is a realistic floor, and I'm just, screw Utah. We're going to put them there. I think 10, we got to have BYU. Speaking of the state of Utah, without Retzlaff now, there's a lot of uncertainty there. They're still going to have a good defense. They're still going to have a few playmakers, but you got to have a quarterback if you're going to realistically compete.
So, hot take. I actually have 10 being West Virginia.
See, okay, I was thinking about West Virginia. You think BYU is going to be better than West Virginia?
I think BYU is going to be better than West Virginia just because I think Rich Rod is going to come in and just fucking implode the entire thing. He's going to blow it up.
I don't know. I think Rich Rod, I'm believing in Rich Rod coming back.
Oh, I totally am too. I think his first year, though, he's going to blow it up.
Yeah.
I think he's going to bring in his transfers. He's going to bring in his players, maybe start some of like the stars. But I don't know. When I look at like the West Virginia's schedule, like they do have a lot of what I would say are the bottom feeders, but that last run is just an absolute freaking nightmare.
Yeah.
Like you're starting at Kansas, you play Utah, which is going to be in the bottom. You're going to play at BYU, which is not easy, even with the quarterback situation. At UCF, another bottom feeder potentially. Then TCU, at Houston, Colorado, at and then you finish the season at Arizona State versus Texas Tech, like, you know for a fact that those last 2 games are losses.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they could go, what? Like, a solid 6-6 overall?
I'm inclined to put them at 9 ahead of BYU because at least they know who their quarterback is.
That's
right. And I think that I think the addition of Rich Rod is going to be a significant positive.
Good,
I think he's really going to get them heading in the right direction and not skip a beat. I mean, he's been successful everywhere he's been except for Michigan. And frankly, if he'd been given more time at Michigan, he might have even been successful at Michigan. But yeah, that's why I'm inclined to put West Virginia at 9. I'm kind of thinking Kansas at 8. Do you agree with that? Kansas at 8?
I think we're missing one more bottom-ish feeder in the Big 12.
Oh, Cincinnati. Yeah, let's put Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati at 8. Good call.
So I would actually, like, just off of your guru persuasion skills, I would actually probably put West Virginia over Cincy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do
I think it's plausible? I just don't think, like, Cincinnati did a good enough like transfer portal. Summerfeld did make some moves. I don't know if they're fully stacked up quite yet for Big 12. And I think they're just trying to pull from very rough markets.
Yeah, so I like Sorsby a lot. I think Sorsby's a really good quarterback. I love Don Corleone. Yep. There's a lot of great pieces on that team, but I don't have faith in that coaching staff. I think that, Coach, you give a significant edge to Rich Rod, and so then, yeah, that could move West Virginia into 8. So, yes, you've convinced me. So now I think it's Kansas at 7.
Super hot take. Yeah. Super hot take for Cincinnati. Get the Kelsey brothers.
To coach?
They probably won't do it, but try. Damn it.
Well, one of them can't read, so, so there's that.
They don't need to read. That's what assistants are for. Matt Campbell doesn't know how to work a smartphone. Like, come on.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have his phone on him.
Okay, so Kansas at 7, I think is fair. Jalen Daniels is back. I think this is just, pretty good coach. A lot of talent.
This is their year, man.
Yeah, and again, I think, like dark horse. I think any of the top 9 have an outside shot at Arlington, but it's this top 6 that I think are the legit contenders for Arlington. Okay, and I'm inclined to say, let me look at my list again. I'm inclined to say Baylor at 6. What do we think about that?
I mean, if I am now being brutally honest,
you think TCU at 6?
It's 5 and 6. I think are interchangeable. I think actually 4, 5, and 6 are interchangeable. With Iowa State, Baylor, and TCU.
I think the all top 6 are interchangeable. Frankly, Baylor, Iowa State, and TCU. Yeah. Okay. I jive with that. Let's.
I think Iowa State has a slightly better strength of schedule when it comes to easier opponents.
That's what I was going to say. I think that TCU is going to be a lot better this year, but our schedule is absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
So, like,
you guys get Arizona State, you get Kansas State, you get Baylor, you get Iowa
and they're
State.
all on the road. Everyone except for Baylor's on the road. And Iowa State.
Well, you get Iowa State.
Yeah, so I'm inclined to say, and I do think the Frogs can make a run at Arlington. And I think head-to-head, I think TCU will beat Iowa State.
Oh, yeah.
Schedule-wise, yeah.
Iowa State schedule, like, we get Kansas State first week. We never start off hot, so I think that might be a potential loss for us. But then it's Arizona, Cincinnati, Colorado, BYU, and Okie State are all on there. So really then our primary competition after that K-State game is Arizona State, TCU, and Kansas. And all of those are home except for TCU.
Yeah.
I really think that we realistically have one of the easier schedules. Ooh, that's a hot take.
I think so. I don't. I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let's just get number 1 out of the way. Arizona State is number 1.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Arizona State.
I think K-State and Texas Tech are interchangeable.
Again, yes, I agree. I think Kansas State has a really good path to Arlington, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I really think that, like, when you look at it, it really comes down to how you play the tougher opponents in your schedule for that top 6.
Yeah, and if TCU is who I think they are, then they can win those games, right? But it is not a gimme schedule. It is a brutal schedule.
I mean, when we looked at it, what was it? There was 2 clear front runners in the first half of the Big 12 conference play, where it was Iowa State and BYU, and then Arizona State got hot, BYU dropped some, Iowa State dropped some, which then started this entire mass conundrum of how there was like 8 teams still available to get in if XYZ, Alpha, Sigma, Delta, 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 all figured out, you know? So I think we could be in for yet another exciting season.
Yeah.
Where it might come down to the last 2 weeks again.
Yeah.
And again, that's great.
Yeah.
Brett Yormark said it. The Big 12 is the most competitive top to bottom. And I love it. It's chaos. It's pure chaos.
General So said it. Joey McGuire is the real question, right? Can this team coalesce? Can Joey McGuire coach them to a championship? I don't know, right? Can Baron Morton stay healthy? You know, just because you added all these disparate pieces because they wanted to get a whole bunch of money, that doesn't mean they're going to make a team. You know, that doesn't mean they're going to coalesce. That doesn't mean they're going to play together.
Like the schemes might not work. Maybe McGuire moves them somewhere else. I mean, shit. I mean, look at him with Taj Brooks. He had freaking Taj Brooks, like one of the best running backs in the Big 12. And they still tried to air raid it for most of the season. Like, why? You got a freaking tank of a running back. And, like, I understand UCF, okay? You go down by a lot. You can't use RJ Harvey anymore because you can't run the football because you're behind by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But, like, you're Texas Tech. You're up by 14, and you're still trying to air raid? Like, how? Why? You have Taj Brooks, grounded pound, dude.
Yeah, it wasn't like TCU where you just couldn't run last year.
Yeah.
Like, you're choosing not to. Yeah.
It'd be like, I seriously, and this would actually be the funniest thing, if McGuire pulled a Gundy this year.
Meaning what?
Win 1 conference game.
Oh. Oh my God, that'd be so. Like I've said this so many times.
The real question is, would he survive a full season if that started happening?
I don't know. Like
because I can see a lot of the boosters getting very pissed very quickly if they like won the first game and then just started losing the rest.
Yeah, I've said this many times. I don't hate Tech the way that a lot of TC fans do. I mean, there's a lot of love in my heart for Tech. I want to beat them every single time we play them, but like, and you know, sometimes their fans get on my nerves, but like, I don't hate them, but like, just with all of the hype this offseason, that would be so delicious if they did that. Oh man, lose like 8 straight.
Oh,
that'd be great.
I would actually probably cackle to death. Yeah. I really would. And then I will say it live on air. If that does happen, if Texas Tech only wins 1 single Big 12 like game, I will select 1 random Utah fan that follows this account and let them post whatever the hell they want on my social medias.
Yeah. Also, as long as we're talking about things that need to happen, I need TCU to beat SMU and Baylor. I cannot go another year of losing to both SMU and Baylor. If we don't play in Arlington, that's okay, but we have to win those 2 games. Please win those 2 games, especially SMU. My God. And I hope we get the game back. I hope we bring the game back in 2028 with Mike Buddy. You listening, Mike Buddy? Bring back the iron skillet. We all want it.